If you don't understand that, you can't understand your experience either. And if you can't understand your experience, you can't use it to build anything. So even if you go to really growing very fast, AI ethics, because you lack the apparatus you need to understand, you will either be imitating what Europeans and Americans say, Jews and Muslims say, but then you're imitating it the way you are imitating somebody today when you go to those pubs. Have you a draft beer? You know, why you don't know probably why it's called a draft beer. Jack Daniels, you don't know the difference perhaps between bourbon and whiskey. You don't know why you should drink wine, what kind of wine you should drink. These are all, even at that serious level, we don't know the culture, we are American. But we imitate them nevertheless. So if you try to imitate that way, you will never have a future in artificial intelligence and ethics. Not only that, you will not have any kind of future in building any artificial intelligence program. You can develop it.
It's around our experience.
Look, have you asked, you should have asked this question. Infosys, how long does it exist? 25, 30 years? At least? Do you know a single commercial program developed by Infosys? Something like that. Something like Excel. Some standard query databases. Who can do that?
Finacle. It's a product line of Finacle.
Finacle. What is Finacle?
It's a banking software, core banking software.
But here,
No, global.
global, Finacle.
It's Finacle.
That's Infosys, right? All right,
That's all I can.
that's all.
Your services.
25 years, 25 years, 40 years. Same 40 years, just look at what American and European software, commercial software. Why is it? Not because it's stupid. I guess there are stupid people here as well, but then there are stupid people in America and Europe as well. They are exceptionally stupid. They are not. They are very intelligent. Why are they not able to do this? Take, for example, bigger issue. They have reservation, right? Last reservations, seats and jobs and so on. 70 years at least of reservation. How many research professors in sciences exist who come from reservation? How many writers, world famous writers, come from reservation families? How many brilliant surgeons and doctors come from reservation families? That does not mean that reservation people are all stupid. Please don't think that. But why is it? If world famous thinkers, you think of Amartya Sen, because he got the Nobel Prize in economics. All right, let's assume that it's a deserving man. Who else? Somebody got Sachin Ram. All right, who else? He did Nobel Prize. But doesn't matter. Let's actually say it is our Nobel Prize. 1.2 billion people over the last 100 years or so have produced exactly 3 Nobel Prizes. Something is wrong, no? It can't be that we are not geniuses, it can't be we are not creative, it can't be we are not intelligent. What is this? fundamental problems is that we don't understand truly what science is. We don't come to the university to learn science, no. We come here to learn how to answer test papers, no? To get a good job. You come to university for a particular kind because placement is easier. How they what 3 lakh placements they offer. I don't know that here, for example, Jindal. Where go to Jindal? And don't go to Army College yet. Their placement is not very good. BMS, that's very good. Not because you learn engineering. The thing you do want to, but that's not what you learn. Why you go to IIT? Oh, you get good jobs. You get 3 lakhs starting salary. Now what happens because of this attitude? You don't know what science is. You don't know what knowledge is. You go there, you get a paper, you answer question papers, you learn the skill. I don't get a skill. I used to do that when I was doing my bachelor's here. What did we do? We used to go to all question papers of the previous years and answer them. That's the way you have to learn to prepare for the exams. But what did I learn? Except how to answer. Give answers to question papers, I did not learn that. And I think it's true for yourself. Occasionally somebody does, but most of us don't. So when we don't learn sciences that way, or management of computer science or whatever, we cannot be creative there, we cannot produce new results there. Same with the research of sciences. To give you one small example, you have heard of UGC, University Grants Commission. Hardly 8 months ago, it sanctioned a research project for 50 lakhs. And all the title of the research project was Kolhapuri Chappals and Dalit culture. 50 lakhs. You know what Kolhapuri chappals are, no? In Maharashtra, Kolhapuri. A particular kind of chappals. So these are the kind of research things that we get encouraged because how do you study society? We have not been taught that. How do you study culture? We don't know. How do you do science? We haven't been taught that. We don't know. This is the cause. And that's why universities are can only function as institutions that will give you a job. And job is required, make as much money as possible. Does money make me happy? Is that opportunity? We don't know that. We see beautiful cars, fantastic five-star hotels. I would like to do it. Every human being would like to do that, I suppose. Why I'm telling you all this is to tell you that these are only some of the problems you're going to confront if you want a bright future, a better future, than the earlier generation of students. And at the moment, what's blocking all of you from finding a good future is look, we cannot look at what we are experiencing, what we are going through, but we talk about something else which you think is our experience. And if you look at children like you, something else which you think is our experience. And if you look at children like you, most of you have reasonably huge problems psychologically in terms of relationships, in terms of family. But do you have any people to talk about except among yourselves? I don't think so. So if you are like that, and you do get some kind of a job, you get married and have children, have you ever thought about how to bring them up? Your surroundings consist mostly of frustrated, angry, unhappy people. Why are they that? How do you know you'll be joining their group 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road? 10 years, 15 years down the road. These are the questions universities don't raise anymore, if they ever raise. And you can't simply go to a psychological counselor and solve your problem. The psychological counselor doesn't understand the problem because you don't even know what the problems are. In short, okay. In short, I thought it was really basic. If you want to be the future of India, of yourselves, if you want to create a future for yourselves, you can only do so if you want to create a future for yourselves. You can only do so if at least you know what your experiences in life are. Minimum you must know. And 1,500 years of colonialism makes it impossible for us, unless we break through that, to see what we are living, what we are doing, where we are going. At the same token, it will not allow you to access multiple knowledges that exist. 1.6 billion people, we don't even have 2, 3, 4 web browsers. I'm staying in a country called Belgium. Population is 10 billion. They already have more than 50 Nobel Prizes in the last 100 years. I'm in the US, and Belgium has flat farmers, has vast farm group of people who speak language from Belgium. It has over 5 universities. 3 universities are in top 100 of the World Bank list. How many are there in India? Top 100? Hello? Top 200? Top 300? At 400? Maybe somewhere in the top 500. Some IIT maybe, London IISc maybe. Ask yourself the question again. Are we so stupid? If 5 million people can produce universities, which is top 100 in the world, why cannot 1.4 billion people produce at least as much, if not more? Something must be blocking us, no? Something must be preventing it, no? Have something prevents you from one understanding what you are undergoing in the world, and you can't understand in a deep sense of the word, required for sense of sciences, natural sciences, and social sciences. So if you can think about these kind of issues, I'm going to meet you in my arms very soon. So my friends, just think about it. There are no answers, simple answers to that. But think about it. If you want the future, you must understand today where you are. That is, think about what you are undergoing and why. What you are learning and why. How do you learn sciences and knowledge? In a university, the teachers only answer questions. These are not questions. I would like to give you answers also, but my time is up. I want another problem. I'm a retired professor. And what do retired professors like? They love crowd like you, or force to sit in this. True, and enjoy. So I was looking forward to 3 hours of talk and slowly taking 5 minutes. I still overshot it by 10 minutes. politics. And the idea is to keep you not so much as part of the thought. I don't know much about that in the universe, perhaps talking about there could be something to like precise of the future in relation to the thought I just made. All right? Thank you very much.
Any questions? Thanks. I have a question. I have a question. Then artificial intelligence is only accounting the Western experience today, not non-West experience. And that's where all the outcomes come from that experience itself.
Just not just the experience, it's not just the experience they're talking about, or their experience. What they talk about is how they think the world is. I'm trying to tell you how we see the world is completely different from how Europe, how the West is. Completely different. So if you want to write algorithms, etc., programs like ChatGPT, you'll have to reproduce what they are already doing, because you do not have to look at your experience. You have to write programs on that basis. You know, maybe you have some computer techies who are also what they call themselves growing. Have you ever heard? Do you know that Sanskrit has got the best structure for a computer language? Why is it we don't write ChatGPT in Sanskrit? Generative grammar, that is deriving meaning from rules of grammar, is what Sanskrit is about, or 2,500 years. Why not a computer language generated as Sanskrit?
But on the other side, you see a lot of CEOs, global CEOs are Indians there.
Yeah.
How come they're successful?
They're successful abroad, not here. You know that? No matter what any politician says, there is no environment which is where you have to create for new startups, new thoughts. There are a lot of blockages. So Indians who grow abroad, like for example, Sir C.V. He went abroad, got his PhD, came back to India, and became one of the most foolish persons on earth. You see his biography. You can't believe it. This is the guy who wrote Nobel Prize for Physics. Sundar Pichai had to go, not in Tamil Nadu. And today, look at Biden's administration. Enormous number of immigrants. Very few Japanese, very few Chinese, very few Koreans, very few. But look at America. Where any number of Indian directors of medicine, medical colleges, etc., etc. Look at America. Where any number of Indian directors of medicine, medical colleges, etc., etc., etc. Why can't we do the same here? And the question arises, what exactly is it that they learned there and something is blocking us? We have to figure out what the blockage is. It's not simply bureaucracy and politicians. You just put the blame on them, but that problem when P. Narasimha they same problem. Siddaramaiah here same problem, Yediyurappa here same problem. DK Shivakumar will not make it any better. So, what is the problem? We have to figure it out. Here, why is it a successful only when we go abroad? What is there that we don't have here? It's the same person, same background, same intelligence. They become a CEO of Microsoft, of Google. Why not here?
We want to formalize or legalize corruption.
Lot of.
We want to formalize or legalize corruption.
Or you think America is not corrupt?
No, that's not. You should formalize or legalize so that it kind of, it also follows a process and everybody, you have to pay this much. There's a uniformity there as well. Okay, I think that's the only.
No, because America and Europe are informally corrupt. Informally corrupt.
Yeah.
There are no rules. Okay? In fact, I discovered that Europeans and Americans are far more corrupt than Indians.
Absolutely.
See, at least we are honest. What, in what sense? If you give me 5,000 rupees, I'll give you my vote. Yeah? True or not?
Indeed.
You think Americans and British are bought into voting that way? No, but there's far more corruption of people who vote in America and Europe than it is here. They are so dishonest, they will to an extent. If you tell them to be corrupt, they say, absolutely not. We are honest people. We believe in democracy, value of democracy. And most of us who vote, we don't know what democracy is, you said, they don't know the value, but we know that BJP pays 3,000, Congress pays 1,500, and you take money from both and vote go away free. Honest people, you see? How not? I'm not laughing at Indians, please. I'm very seriously asking. Do you know any other country in the world where the voter says, I will vote for one who pays me the most? Indians in the country. Right, to be honest. So maybe we are successful in America and Europe because we have to become thieves like them. Don't talk about that. And I'm very serious. I'm not calling them thieves, they don't understand. So there's something here, cannot be psychology, cannot be intelligence, it cannot even be corruption. And it's blocking us bringing our creativity. We are creative, we are intelligent. Something is preventing us from expressing. To use your word, monetize. That's what we're thinking. And that's not bureaucracy, that's not politics, and I don't do instruction either. It's something else. Imagine if India's problem go away, if every Indian voter became very honest and did not take a penny to vote, voted free, anything would improve? I don't think so. Right? And so Siddaramaiah, I don't know, sorry.
Is it because of the boundaries of freedom we impose on ourselves?
What did you say?
The levels of freedom Indians impose on themselves. Is it because of that people just fly away to America to become, professionally trained? What? There's nothing that makes them stay here. What do you think it's because of freedom that?
Would you say Indians are unfree?
In
You should.
certain-
What sense?
Culturally, I think some part it's imposed on us.
Like which one? Give me some idea.
Feel free.
No, answer me. You feel unfree, right? I have not seen anybody of your age who feels free. I know that. But if you look at it that way, freedom 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, freedom 2. Multiple levels. India is far more free than America. What the kind of freedom young people talk about is basically the indifference that other people have towards you. For example, you are going on a show, somebody comes and stabs you, you will just walk off. An old man is beaten up in the subway, in the metro, people just walk off. In Europe and in America. So, they're not bothered. They are indifferent. So that indifference up to a point. Would you call that freedom? Would you like to have that? We feel unfree, I understand that. A lot of people feel unfree. And that has more to do with the fact that you have to have different worlds. One world where your parents and relatives cannot come in, hide it. Another world where they see you, you have to behave the way you think they want it. Yeah? So if you speak of unfreedom, you're probably talking about the kind of pressure that your parents and your relatives bring upon you as to how you should live. Probably talking about that. Yeah? But all other kinds of freedom comes about as they exist is far better in India than Europe or America. That's not enough of an answer, but look at this way. China is far less free than India. Today, but China is the second biggest economy in the world. 1983, they were lower than India. 40 years later, second biggest economy in the world. Very soon it will overtake America. Biggest army, biggest economy, highest production rate, most number of house owners, and absolutely unfree. Alibaba is founded Jack Ma. You know what happened? No. Opened his mouth, they shut him down, threw him away. Poor fellow, he lost all his money, which is investment fund and so on. So Jack Ma has learned his lesson. What is it? Keep him on shut. So that he can make money. So China, with much less freedom, at any level, and their families as controlling as our families are, Indian families are.
And paradoxically, Europeans attribute the growth of China to that unfreedom.
Yeah.
One of the hypotheses that Europe has, to answer the question why China is growing, is that they think it's because it's less free. They think, yeah, in Europe it's too much, nobody follows rules, nobody does anything, you should be like China if you want to improve.
Take even better example, Singapore. And Lee Kuan Yew, he was the first Prime Minister of Singapore, right? Lee Kuan Yew and his son now, I suppose. Incredible controls. Today, it is the third richest country in the world in terms of GDP, in terms of. So, there are many people who want India to follow Singapore model. Much less freedom. Catch hold of all these guys, but what kind of rules have they had in Singapore? All young people below the 18 in a bar. Anybody drunk and walking around? For some foreigners. Did you know every house in certain most apartments has CCTVs. There was some poor fellow, Italian, had his bath and was walking around naked in his own house. Got him a pretty indecent behavior. Simple. So Singapore, China, Europe, America. India has far more, look, compared to China, for example, India has more literature, in its own languages, more intellectuals, produce far more in the last 3,000 years. Every level we have that up. But, so maybe it's not. We are too free perhaps. But you like that. Then all these books intellectuals were fixed. You see they are there? You don't do that anymore. You can't write on the night road with your bike. No, 120 kilometers an hour for just 8 kilometers and come back. Then you will be shot in jail. We have become a better student because of that thing. So, you're right, you feel an unfeeling. There's no question about it. Point is, where is this unfeeling coming from? What kind of unfeeling is there? Actually, to understand that, you have to look at your experience. Is it unfeeling with experience or something else? You can even ask the question. You think it's unfeeling. If you are going to put a list, you say, oh, my aunt keeps on, my grandmother, my other brother of mine. Yeah. Outside the family, think, what kind of unfeeling? Clothes. But there is a problem, absolutely true. You have to figure out what that is. And you will not figure it out because the way you ask now, the haste, freedom, unfreedom, that way of asking makes you think you are experiencing unfreedom. No, maybe something else that you are experiencing, and you think that has to do with freedom. Probably not. Our languages, the way we look at the words, and help us figure that out. So, I haven't given you answers, I know. But my suggestion to you is, yes, you feel constricted. Yes, you don't feel good. But it might have nothing to do with freedom or unfreedom. But you don't know how well to answer this. All right?
You feel compared to the Google Infosys thing you were talking about right earlier, because India always has a catch-up game to play, right? Like they feel they're lacking even more. As China even explores their economy, India has even more catch-up to do. So because of which we're not actually thinking of addressing it, but again, this we think India's solution to face China's manufacturing. We do not really know whether that works or is that the path for us. So because of every time we get a turmoil or every time we are faced with pressure, we copy. Similar in exams, right? You want to pass, you copy. So because of which there's not enough freedom again in terms of digging deeper to understand what actually will work in India. But it's more like a catch-up game. Like even the rich want to get more richer. They're not looking for saying that just like look in some other direction. So is that also a problem with India to play the catch-up game on this, so they're not focusing on their own thing?
Well, you have to first look at it properly before you can answer. As I said, 1983, China was lower. Yeah. Now, China built industrial base. It did not build foreign investment because it's cheaper labor. So capital went huge and huge quantities. Enough to live till 40 years because the industrial base almost in the world. Now, look at India. You know, your Prime Minister wants to make in India, right? Do you genuinely believe in 10 years from now? Or not, forget that. Do you think the kind of students that currently teachers are producing will help us build that kind of a base in India, make in India? Are we learning more with the kind of teachers we have? Not just in college, in university. Look at the level of Karnataka. Mostly, there are lots of engineering colleges in Karnataka. They built them for 15 years ago. What kind of teachers were there to teach them? What kind of teachers were there to teach all the engineering students that are coming out? When we come out, India is go a bit deeper. When you're doing your CBSE exams, whatever it is, most of you went to private training, yes. And about 10 years ago, I started looking at what kind of private teachers there are. Most of them, but 50 to 60% were 65, 75 old people. In the last 10 years, a lot of them will be dead. There are the new private school teachers, private tuition, which person is here. If they're capable of doing it, they'll teach you at school itself. But school teaching is not enough, so you got private tuition. If there are nobody to give private tuition anymore, 60% disappears, dies, what engineering, what mathematics are going to learn, what science are going to learn, what language. When you come to engineering, even half the teachers in engineering colleges don't know. They teach you what they were taught 30 years ago, 40 years ago. For example, he needs the facts from my friends went to the lab 8 years ago. He was absolutely shocked. Because the processor they were using to study in IISc to teach computer science is 8086 instructional science. 8086, 8 years ago, Indian Institute of Science. What kind of computer specialist is going to come up from there? Make in India. Do we have the people with knowledge to make it in India? So it's not that we're trying to catch them. We can't catch them. There's no way on earth. So this fellow that I was talking about, this friend of mine worked in Intel and all that, he donated his library to ISC because they didn't have the library which was more than enough. Indian Institute of Science, engineers in computer science, are experts in about 8086 processes. We expect them to build an NVIDIA graphics. 2 nanometer processors. They're now building, I was told, a fab, setting up a fab in India, $1 billion. 45 nanometers. $1 million a day now in India to build a fab, which will produce process 45 nanometers. People there, where are they? How will they go to quantum computing? From there. So it is not competition. The handicap is many different. This comes in this. Yeah.
So as you said, the experience, since all of them are having experience, they're going out to get experience, and they're not coming back here, as you said, they wait for this money. So isn't that making a barrier for us to grow that? Because we're not getting experience here.
It's not that we don't have experience here, but let me give you an example. See, I had this hypothesis that people who go abroad and make it well, make it good, at a certain stage they get what is called a moral disease, deadly disease. And the deadly disease would like to come back and do something really. Yeah. So some people come to colleges, some people in university, temples, hospitals, if you have money. Or those who don't have money, like me, for example, what is it we want to do? Come back here and teach how to do research, teach new knowledge. I used to call it a deadly disease because there's no cure for it, I thought. Let me give you an example. When Communist Party was in Parliament, and Kapil Sidhu was the Ministry of HRD, Human Resource Development. At that moment, some 50 professors from America, Indians, came here with that part of the deadly disease. They came here. They said, you are a teacher, JNU, PU, Delhi University, JNU, H. I was a very good teacher, so first year exams. People of course failed, and 80 to 85% of the students who failed were what? HDC, HDs. So all these people got together and said, you are insulting the Dalits. We have passed, and so on and so on. The professor said, look, you are a Dalit, we are not. And the answer paper, I have not written this Dalit, they just answer the question. They just don't know the answers, they fail. Okay, there's some Dharma and all that. That's the next year. Exams again. Again failed, some people failed. Just 90% of them were Dalits. And OBCs, who else is here? So they went to Kapil Sidhu, Minister of Human Resources. This is atrocity, it's not atrocity. This is inciting the Dalits, this is discrimination, we should pass. So Kapil Sidhu said, what do the vice chancellors say? And they say, sir, that professors decide and you are not good enough, but this is an absolute insult to the Dalit community. The Kapil Sidhu phoned these VCs and asked them, come to his office. They came and he said, what the hell is this? 2 years, 85-90% of that state is covered. They must pass. He said, yeah, see, you can't do anything in professors' exam. Well, professors might examine them, but if they don't pass, I will give funding. So VCs went back and they passed the forced professors to let all these OBCs and CFCs to go through. So what did these professors do, you think? They resigned and went back to the United States of America. That they can't teach. So the problem is already, you see, the one kind. Those who want to come and teach, and those who want to come to work here, those who want to spread knowledge, teaching confront other kinds of problems here because it's to do that. So it's not that they have different experience there that here, in some sense they have, but it is not as though we don't have experience. We have our Indian experience, but we think that that is European experience. We talk about it the way Europeans talk about India. For example, the way we talk about corruption. Just compare it to how European press talks, even now, about India, it's exactly the same. So we talk as though we are Europeans, Americans, the West in general, but our experience is different.
Also, having lots of experience with the invasions and their destructions and stuff, so we couldn't leave or restructure the army when we are going.
It's not simply invasions and so on. As I just said, if you compare to China, Japan, any of the Asian countries, or even Europe, India has a very rich literary, scientific, philosophical tradition compared to any other country. Problem is we have become kind of half Europeans, half Western, so that we can't understand those texts anymore. Our own texts we don't understand. We interpret it the way Europeans have interpreted it. And we can't develop them any further because we don't understand our own experience. In the sense that, look, if you look at the youth, going every weekend perhaps to these pubs, I don't know, without go there, They are there as though they are in New York in the past. But the world they are living in is not New York in the past. No. And even if India, they even talk owned by some Indian ass, who makes a lot of money. But it's Indian, so it is true. But act as though they are what? They are, they're in accused Columbia, God knows where. Montmartre in Paris or something like that. That's what they thought, this is an act. But that's not very hard. But they use the language of that word to interpret the experience of this word. In our head, let me just give you one small illustration. You know what Islam means? The word Islam, do you know what it means? What? Do you know what the word Islam means? Islam means submission. That is, you have to submit to Allah. Yeah. Now, what happened because of Islamic colonialism is that this way of being submissive enters our psychology. If you look at the way you look at authorities, for example, the pew looks at deputy secretary in the government. Deputy secretary is the chief secretary in the government. Chief secretary is the minister in the government. What do they do? Submission. Salam. Whatever he says, whatever he says. Yeah. And they kick people downstairs. The chief secretary kicked the bloody pew. That pew will kick his son, probably. Yeah? Or his wife. So we kick downwards. We lick upwards with the shoes. This is what Islam brought into our culture. It's gone into our psychology. This is what colonialism does. This is one example. Okay? It makes sense to be submissive to God, Allah. But it makes no sense to be submissive to who? It's a no man. DK Shivkumar is fighting about a big job. It's a program. But look at Harry Sharkey and all these IAS officers, IPS officers and so on. That's the history. No case later on, government history. This is how we get no. That. It's time. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. You have sat there for food, is it? Yeah. Because I'm getting hungry, so you should go. All right, thank you very much. I wish you the best. I know it was not what could have been, but 25 minutes is very difficult to summarize thoughts, okay? I wish all of you the best of luck. Hopefully in India, don't go abroad.
Thanks a lot for being a part of orienting students. Really a great blessings for entire cohort and students of co-create Visual Labs here. Really a pleasure. Thanks a lot for being part of the request as well as to this under the goodies for small gift of thanks.
Bribe. You want to know what it is? It's a signature.
Just to share my experience, after getting into Balu's school of thought, understanding culture, Indian, it has really helped me the way I interact with people, my relationship with people, understanding my culture, reflecting upon my experience. The experience is not which comes with work experience. Reflecting upon the way you live, the way you look at the world, and also do business, how Indian do business. Especially, he asked me one question in 17, 18. Who take decisions in business? VC ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಯಾವ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಂತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ರು ನನಗೆ in a meeting who looks at who in meeting. Okay, if VC is sitting here and if he looks at somebody, there are 3 people, he looks at somebody in meeting to take decision, that guy is influencing this VC, vice chancellor. Indian business works this way. It's not hierarchy which take distance there. This is one insight really helped me Varun. Today, I think many times when I go and talk to people, when I do business, when I go and interact with these guys, I observe this heuristics which I got it. I observe this, who influencing the decision. Thanks a lot, Varun. Thanks, Erika. Thanks, Varun. Thank you.